Michael A.T. Stewart, are you telling us that we have to lower our expectations and revise our principles in order to, have somebody in our lives? Because if I have standards and I think that I am worthy of those very high standards, then you need to come correct. Why should I lower my standards for you?
No, you need to choose somebody who values you. You don't try to let him change. You need to therefore make better selection. And part of it, the first chapter of the book says, look forward into his past. Before you even commit to a man, you must be able to find out how he has operated with past relationships. You don't get into it, find out how he is, and then realize this is not the guy for me. But from the time you chat with him, he left his last relationship because the woman got fed up of the abuse. The woman before that, he was an abuser. And you tell yourself he has been in relationship between 2 to 3 years. Chances are he's going to be in a relationship with you for about 2 to 3 years. And then he's gone. So he's going to begin to sabotage the very relationship in order to be out subconsciously in 2 to 3 years. And so what a woman needs to do is to be more, invest before she investigates. Or investigate before she invests, rather. So that when she gets into a relationship, she knows very well these are his issues and I'm prepared to live with those issues.
Folks, Michael A.T. Stewart is going to be with us for a few minutes after the news bulletin that we're going to take in now from the Senior Center. Vani's standing by, so we're going to go do that. And then when we come back, we're going to tackle him again on this issue of relationships.
I know, right? How do you make it work?
He's speaking from a position of authority. He's been married for 25 years. Let's hear what other pearls of wisdom he has to share. We'll be back after this break. Back here on First Up, the first stop in your busy day inside hour number 3 of the simulcast. It's just about 8 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're continuing our conversation with author, motivational speaker, and life coach Michael A.T. Stewart. He's written 3 books that we know of, well, at least that he brought on set with us today. He probably has another one already in his mind beginning to write, based on the conversation that he's having with us this morning. 7 keys to unlock the mystery of men, helping men to label feelings and providing explanations to women. That's one book. Another, and he said this was his first publication, Getting Yourself Up. Find the strength deep within to pull yourself up out of your circumstances.
Let's go with the forward on that one.
Okay. And what we're seeing on the screen now, the cover for 7 Keys to Unlock the Mystery of Men. Another publication from Michael A.T. Stewart, 4 reasons why relationships fail and how you can make yours succeed. So 4 reasons why relationships fail and how you can make yours succeed. And as we indicated, Mr. Stewart is a motivational speaker. He's a professional life coach. He's also a licensed marriage officer and communications consultant. So he is well placed to discuss the topic that we are discussing right now. His qualification, I think, the most superior of them all, is that he's been married happily for 25 years to the same person without ever, stepping out on her, as they say
the local terms. But it's interesting because off air we had some interesting conversation, and this is just about making relationships work. And he was saying that women have to just be real with themselves and understand your situation and move on. Now Jesse raised an interesting point as it relates to women, and now we're seeing that the role is shifting. Women are making more money, they're more independent, more opinionated. We're no longer in the home, we're no longer docile. But most men, whether successful or not, can't deal with that.
Well, what they can't deal with is the ego. Back to the ego again. A man loves to feel needed. So if he is in a situation of an independent woman who really does not need him, the value that he feels he brings is gone. And so therefore that creates an issue between both of them. And sometimes he has to assert himself in order to gain back value. You understand? And so there's a struggle that goes on between the man and the woman now.
Females like Jessie and I who are very opinionated. I mean, somebody told me that you talk for a living. How could you really have a man, how could a man really feel less of you?
Well, let's take, for example, sometimes when we come from the grocery, my wife will be taking out all of these boxes and so on. I say, let me help you. No, I can handle it. Now, what that does subtly, it says, I really don't need the help. I could handle it myself. And now you have a whole generation of women coming up with somewhat of a woman's lib that my son came and told me, Daddy, that's the last time I stand up to let a woman sit. I said, well, that's not how we brought you up. He said, because he got up in a function. He has always been taught, if you're in a function and there's a shortage of seat, as a male, get up and let a woman sit. Do not be sitting. And he got up. And she said, what happened? You think because I'm a woman I cannot stand? And he was so embarrassed. And it is not once it has happened. He said, that's it. I'm not doing it again. So this independence causes men to say, hello, I really don't have any value.
But chivalry is dead, you know.
But
really not
well,
many
it's not chivalry. There are a lot of women who still want the door to be open for them. Still want the chair. Yes. But you don't know which one. Because let me give you a quick incident.
Take the risk anyway and find out.
No, but you see, again, our ego is hard for you to strike our ego and for us to survive. I was heading to the studio. I had a radio program, and I was heading to the studio, and it was late. It was in the night. My program is a 8 o'clock program. And I met this lady pushing a Jeep, a no-top Suzuki Jeep. On the road, she has a little child standing in the seat, steering while she's pushing this vehicle that's broken down. I passed because I said, listen, I'm late. But I told myself, my mother will never support me with this. I mashed brake, reversed, and said, Miss, could I just offer you some help? And she said, why? You think because I'm a woman that I can't push a vehicle? I said, okay. And I pushed in my first gear and I left. So you really find that there are a number of men who cannot be bothered with all of that.
Now, I want to ask you the flip side of this. And most men, when they move up in social standing, let's say at one time, maybe you may not have had so much money. Now you've established yourself, you're richer, you can afford it. So there goes your monogamy, there goes your ability to hold on to one woman.
And that's the word, he can now afford it. He can now afford to take care of more than one woman.
To have a harem?
But because there's an availability of these women, if there's no supply, when you have that supply there, then therefore there's no need for him to
women naturally outnumber men in terms of population.
Yes, but it is not a matter about numbering, it is a matter of your philosophy. If a woman is with a man and another woman sees that and still makes herself available, what she has done is assist in creating a culture, because it comes back to the philosophy of the man needing to make his own limitation and boundaries. But what she has done is assist a man to say, I really don't need to stick into this because you are available. But then just as how you became available, another woman is going to see that and say, he's rich, and so I know he has 2 other women, but hey, I want a piece of the pie too. And so therefore I want my rent paid, I want this, and he's quite capable of doing so. He's going to include you.
We have literally run out of time, Michael AT Stewart. I really like that, Michael AT Stewart. So we're going to get you back on the show sometime in the future, because we've got some comments and people indicating that they would like to hear more of this kind of subject matter being discussed. So at a date to be fixed, we will organize for the return of Michael AT Stewart.
Yes. And if they want, they could call 635-1801, because some people may want to access the book.
Sure. Yes.
635-1801.
Okay, so we're going to leave that information with our reception. Just call in to get that information as to how you can get hold of the book and even get in touch with Mrs. Stewart as well. Mrs. Stewart, thank you for joining us here on Facebook. We'll see you again soon. We'll see you again soon.
Yes, please.
We'll be back in a bit with more on Face Stuff.